I'm Kapila Ganesh, and I handle the customer relationship at Regal Unlimited. And the objective of today's session is for aspiring coaches like you to clarify your doubts about coaching and the journey of coaching and how you can bridge the gap and the doubts that you have in your mind. Right, and today I have here with me is Mr. Subhash, who is an executive leadership coach and an ICF mentor coach and a certified healer. After his MBA marketing, he has spent 21 years in the corporate, all in sales and business leadership roles in India and in abroad. He's the founder and CEO at Regal Unlimited, a boutique firm, and launched on 12/12/2012. And he's an INSEAD alum, MCC certified ICF coach, a senior practitioner. And he has clocked over 3,000 coaching hours with leaders at major corporates, business owners, and professionals. Also trained over 150 coaches on ICF framework over the last 6+ years now. So over to you, Subhash. And I'll just tell how we are going to structure this day. We will explain you the commitment towards the journey with a small presentation that we have prepared for the first 20 minutes, which Subhash will be taking you through. And then I've got a set of questions, which I usually hear from aspiring coaches like you when I communicate with them. So with that questions, and if participants have any other queries, please feel free to put it in the Q&A session and we will address them as well. Yeah, over to you, Subhash.
Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to connect with all of you. Either I can see a couple of you are our friends and existing coaches, but most of you are aspiring coaches, I assume. Thanks for choosing to spend next 1 hour with us this evening. It's a pleasure to connect with all of you. And again, from our side, from my side, I wish you all a very happy 2022. We're going to spend 1 minute, 25 seconds on this video, why everyone needs a coach. Then we'll jump into the presentation.
Everyone needs a coach. It doesn't matter whether you're a basketball player, a tennis player, a gymnast, or a bridge player. My bridge coach, Sharon Osberg, says there are more pictures at the back of her head than anyone else's in the world. Sorry, Sharon. There you go. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve.
Years I've received so many different kinds of advice, I don't know where to start. One that comes to mind is to have a coach. Our board member in 2002, John Doerr, said, "You need a coach." And I said, "Well, I don't need a coach. I'm an established CEO. Why would I need a coach? Is something wrong?" Said, no, you need a coach. Everybody needs a coach. So Bill Campbell became my coach and served Google very well. Every famous athlete, every famous performer has somebody who's a coach, somebody who can watch what they're doing and say, "Is that what you really meant? Did you really do that?" They can give them perspective. The one thing people are never good at is seeing themselves as others see them. The coach really helps.
Now, what is not coaching? So we take a very spiritual approach to this. What is not coaching, instead of saying, jumping into what is coaching. Coaching is not mentoring, where a subject matter experts comes and tell the mentee, this is the way of doing it. My first job was as a clerk in a state bank. When I asked some doubt, they said, just turn the ledger back and see what it is. That was old mentoring. Then it became telling us what to do. But that is not coaching. A subject matter expert downloading what he or she knows is not coaching. Consulting, typically what the famous consultants do, they come with all the expertise, external expertise, not internal expertise like a mentor. They kind of tell you what is the problem, help you fix the problem, walk away with a fat check. Yeah, that's primarily what consultants do, that we all are familiar with. It is not training. Training, again, is someone who is an expert in that. It could be an external trainer or an internal trainer. It is not even therapy or healing. It's not counseling. Because in these methodologies, the expert, the professional there, allows the patient or the client to go into the past, fix the problem there, and come back. Coaching does not go into the past. So one primary difference why we call it professional coaching versus the way coaching is understood is it is very different from mentoring, consulting, training, counseling, and healing. Then what is coaching? If those things are not coaching, it's based on outcome. There is a specific goal that is set. There is, you are at point A that we all know. We want to go to point B. That is the aspiration. How you go, that becomes the coaching engagement objective. It's outcome driven. It's just not reaching from A to B. The path also is important. The journey is as important. And the pace. You can, for me, if I want to travel from here to Chennai, there are 5 different routes and ways I can do it. It's up to me as a client, whether I want to, how I want to go, how fast I want to go, what mode of transport I need to take. So coaching is very personal. Coaching is deeply personal. Yeah. It's between a conversation between 2 best friends. So there is totally equal partnership. It doesn't come with, in transactional analysis, we speak about adult to child. No, it's among 2 equal friends. It's construct, it's creation. Yeah. And it's not something that is given as an instruction. This point will be more clear when we look at the definition of coaching. There are multiple definitions of coaching, and what resonates with us at Regal is this definition. Incidentally, it's given by ICF. It's about partnering. So some key terms that we need to remember as part of this definition is, one, it is partnering. I spoke about the equal conversation between 2 best friends. It is a process. So I can see some of you are techies here. Some of the aspiring coaches here on the call are techies. So it's a process. You stick to the process, you will partner the client to go to point A to point B. That's the beauty of this process, of professional coaching process. But the ICF methodology does not restrict you to a process. It allows you to move into something more creative and thought-provoking. And that is part of the journey. It's built on the foundation of the process. It's the science and the art of coaching. And what does it do? It inspires the client to take some actions. The pace that we spoke of in the previous slide, that is what happens here. It inspires, the inspiration comes from within. That's why it is not mentoring, counseling. No, it's not construct. It's something that is creative. What does it result in? Of course, you go from point A to point B, but it is also going beyond point B, which is maximizing personal and professional potential. So the client might come and say that I want to lose weight. I want to get promotion in, say, 3 months or 1 year. That is more about point A to point B. But coaching goes beyond. And the hashtag I use personally is manifest magic. If you're going from A to B, pretty much anyone can help you to do that. If you're a transactional coach. But a transformational coach, a professional coach goes beyond that. Now, while this conversation is all about professional coaching, we are kind of focusing on what does it take to become a professional coach. And it is about getting trained as a coach, getting certified as a coach. Number 3, getting credentialed as a coach. That is ICF Credential. So only if you have finished 1 and 2, then you can become a credential coach. That is step number 3. Then number 4, it is gaining the experience as a coach. Right? The more you coach, you are still learning. Every coaching conversation is a learning experience. The 5th one, which is more holistic, deeper, is that the coach continues to work on himself or herself, which we call it as deep work, by the popular book by the same title. But at least 1, 2, 3, 4 is mandatory to become a professional coach. So we are kind of focusing a little bit, next 2, 3 slides, on ICF Credential. And why ICF Credential? ICF is the gold standard in coaching globally. I mean, this is indisputable. 40,000 professional coaches. We just crossed 40,000 globally during the last year, 2021, with a high focus on ethics. ICF coaches are driven by ICF Code of Ethics. No, absolutely no leniency there. It's a well-researched framework based on best practices. And ICF's stated goal is to promote the science and the art of coaching and also promote solid research And there's wealth of information on ICF website, which is accessible to all public also. Yeah. And it's a global standard. And, I'm an ex-banker, so I always compare a Visa and MasterCard. The global leader is Visa by the sheer global presence footprint. That is ICF. The number 2 is MasterCard. It's an oligopoly, right? There is even Amex is a very fringe player. That's the same case here. The number 2 is a distant number 2, which is European Mentoring and Coaching Council. So ICF is by far the gold standard in professional coaching. Our team had taken up some deep research work. This is just a teaser from that, something which was done independently. We'll be doing a separate launch or webinar on this. But just an important slide for aspiring professional coaches here who want to make a career out of coaching. The research shows that if you have an ICF accreditation or an ICF credential, your earning potential goes up dramatically compared to non-ICF coach. Non-ICF coach, 60% are earning less than 5,000. Only 14% earn here in the case of ICF. Even 14% is unfair. Yeah, I'm sure they are not our alumni. Yeah, so 60% of ICF coaches earn more than 5,000. And you can see it goes up to over 25,000 per session. This is per session data. Second thing, NPS, how satisfied are you? 91% were satisfied. Yeah, 9% was neutral. Whereas non-ICF coaches, 68% were satisfied, 31% were neutral, and 1% were not happy. Two important reasons why ICF is a gold standard in coaching. And this research was done in India. For those of the members here who are logging in from overseas, this is more of an India-specific research that we have done. Why should one offer an ICF certification credential? There are many different, these are kind of questions that comes to us. ICF has got a very structured methodology to become a credential coach, which is ACC, PCC, MCC, which are 3 levels. It has got 3 routes. The 2 popular routes are ACTP and ACSTH. Yeah. I'm sure if any of you have contacted either Kapila or me, or you've got a communication, you know this already. What makes ICF such a robust certification of credential is this. You need to get trained, need to get mentored by the mentor, you need to practice for 100 hours, you have to complete assignments as non-synchronous, and there is a test. Yeah, this makes it a very, very strong, robust system. Now, there's something that will come up in the Q&A, but I want to touch upon this. The entire ICF methodology is based on adult learning. They treat you not like kids in school. They trust you as adults. And the whole methodology is based on adult learning. There's a lot of empowerment because it is based on your comfort and convenience, right? So why choose Regal Unlimited? Those are 2-3 slides on why ICF. Now why Regal? Yeah, the host company. We have an exclusive 250 plus alumni network. You wouldn't see much of it online because we play below the line, below the radar as we call it, right? We offer customized mentoring solutions. We are a community of ACC, PCC, and MCC. So there is ongoing mentoring. We all are trained to coach the ICF way. So there is a handholding right through the journey and even beyond. I don't take any credit for this, nor the team here. This is kind of built around some of the best global B schools where they have very strong alumni. Right? There is even nothing comparable in this part of the world that I can guarantee. Yeah, what is the Regal impact? We are 7+ years into coach training. 9th year, 2012 was the launch date, Kapila mentioned. It was 200 coaches, now it is 250+ coaches. 1,000+ industry leaders have been touched by our coaching methodologies, and 50+ organizations, including some Fortune 100 companies. Yeah. That's a pretty much 18th minute. Some high-level stuff on what is coaching, what is not coaching, what is ICF, and why Regal. If you have any questions, we can answer. Yeah, there is one question already.
We have a question. So how can one decide if coaching is suitable as a career? Is there any checklist?
it goes beyond the checklist for sure. Thanks for that question. I think it's a very relevant question. Checklist comes from a cognitive conscious mind. Yeah, this is more about going to the heart. And I'm happy that this question has come up early stage of this Q&A, because I always maintain personally, coaching is not for everyone. Like, everyone needs a coach. We saw the video. But I may not be the coach for some of you here, but someone else might be a better coach. Everyone needs a coach, but the coachee or the client has to prepare. Yeah, that is number one, first answer to it. Number two, to become a coach is a calling. It has to be strongly linked to your purpose. Incidentally, out of the 250 coaches, at least 245 of them, 95% of them, it's a second career. Most of us have spent some years doing something else, and we have consciously gone into this. I became a banker. There are engineers, there are chartered accountants, there are consultants, techies. All of us would have, kind of moved into a particular career because, so parents wanted us to become an engineer, or banking attracted me, kind of thing, right? But second career we have made by choice. So if I have to answer this in one line, it has to be linked to your life purpose, and it is not checklist. It has to come from your heart. My father was an army man, wanted me to become an engineer, but I knew that I was not cut out for engineering. Like Kapila is an engineer. So my father gave me that permission to choose my career. I went for BCom after maths, physics, chemistry, and I was very good in maths and physics. I went for commerce and I chose to become a banker. Then MBA. Then, 21 years, I knew that I was not cut out for this. Somewhere midway through my banking career, I wanted to do something else. And I didn't have the luxury of a coach. I didn't have any guidance at that point of time. But I still see that somewhere I knew in my heart that banking or chasing loan, I have done 21 years chasing loan top line, 21 years in sales and business P&L roles. I didn't want to do that till my end of my career, and coaching happened to me. The rest of the story I share it, and when we connect on the classroom, maybe later. If those of you are joining, we'll get the rest of the story.
And what is the right time to transition to become a coach? I think you answered that as well in your first question.
So, one question that just on added comment on that is, I always feel this is one space where gray hair is respected. That's why I flaunt my gray hair, right? I think age and experience really helps here. Not necessary, right? Millennial coaching is the next hot segment. There are many youngsters in our community who are looking at that as segment. Definitely. So age is, but it helps to have a worldview. I can say JK's question here. There are too many coaches in the market. How do one make a difference and impact after the training on coaching? Yeah, thanks for that, JK. One, I beg to disagree that there are too many coaches, because India, I'll again, with the permission of overseas participants here, if I just take Indian market, there are less than 1,000 coaches in India. I think less than 1,000 ICF coaches. If you just look up on ICF website, it will throw up. I think the last count was some 900 plus. You have still not crossed 100 as far as I know. We need to check the exact number. 1,000 coaches for Indian market is too less. Yes, I agree. There are a lot of self-styled coaches on LinkedIn. I heard on an ICF Global program, there are 2.65 million coaches on LinkedIn. But I'm sure only 40,000 are ICF coaches, right? Assuming that all 40,000 are on LinkedIn. The rest of the 2.2 million coaches are non-ICF coaches. Let me say they're non-trained and certified coaches. They're not professional coaches. So my answer to that is there is still a lot of demand for real professional coaches. That is one. How do one make a difference and impact after the training on coaching? This is a great question. First of all, it is not after the training. In our training program, we start discussing this from the very first session. Elements like what do you want to do as a coach? What is the niche that you want to choose? Macro niche and micro niche. Like I call myself a leadership coach. But then who are the kind of leaders that I work with? What is the kind of work I do? So I primarily focus on CXOs who still have the dream and fire to move into the next level. So I'm more a CXO coach. I have coached homemaker to teen youngsters in their late teens to independent professionals, startup founders, founders who are exited. I have 2 startup founders with 1,000 crore plus net worth. But proactively, I am focusing on CXOs. That is because I understand that space. So it's very important that you choose the niche and start the marketing right from the word go. Yeah, and stay connected with that space. Yeah, so a lot of my work, self-learning, deep work, it is still linked to learning that space deeper. So I am focusing on the great resignation to the women leadership. Chanel has gotten lean and I, a lot of those developments, right? How do you make the impact? Then there is one slide we cover. What are the qualities of a coach? When we discuss the qualities of coach, we cover that, what does it take to become a great coach, good to great coach? Yeah, I mean, it's a continuous learning, deep work, humility is, we all rate that as the number one thing, right? So those are some of the things that are very relevant to becoming a successful coach. And it is a process compliance. It is about trusting the process and surrendering to the process, if I can use the word surrender. JK, I hope I've tried to answer that. Yeah, thank you.
There is another question in the Q&A session. So affiliation from Regal Unlimited is understandable, but does choosing the right coach, trainer, and mentor also matters?
100%, 101%. Because, you need to connect with the coach when you're getting into coaching. You need to connect with the mentor when you're getting into mentor. And I mean, those of you who are still sitting on the fence, if you intend to join our program, you need to resonate with me. If you feel that I could be your mentor, one of the mentors, we are 6 MCCs and PCCs who form the community of mentors, apart from Kapila, Karan, and others who are part of the supporting team. So the connecting with the right mentor is very critical. It's very important that you talk to the mentor before you sign up. Same with signing up a coach. If you're signing up a coach, talk to the coach. Make sure that that coach resonates with you. And on a lighter note, I compare this with this concept of arranged marriage. No bias towards arranged or the other options, but there is something magical that you meet once, you commit for a lifetime relationship, and that works. Yeah. So it's very important that you connect with the mentor. Understand what the mentor will do to you. For me, another example, if you allow me, those of you are familiar with Indian mythology, Dronacharya from Mahabharata had hundreds of students, Kauravas and Pandavas, but he told, I'll make Arjun the greatest warrior, right? You need to find a mentor who will make you a great coach. Greatest is your journey, at least a great coach.
So the commitment for ICF looks quite robust. How does Regal help in 100 hours of practice, the mentoring, and in the CKA?
So, I always give the example of an Apple ecosystem. So I am on Apple ecosystem. So it's an end-to-end control in a very empowering way. It's not like the Google platform. Right from the first session, we kind of partner with you in a coaching way till you get your ACC or PCC, and also when you do business. So today I had 2 conversations with members of a community. Yesterday I had 2 sessions, both 30 minutes. These are not charged. We were discussing, one of them is applying for ICF, the other one saying that, I'm going from full-time to part-time. How do I launch my business from 1st April? I said, 60 days we'll work together, and in 60 days you will walk away with a model to succeed, right? And I've managed 21 years business in P&L. Some of the other mentors, Madhu, Nasser, Swaminathan, all these people come from sales and business background. Yeah, Rekha, of course, who's an MCC. So we will handhold you till you get your credentials, ACC, PCC, and beyond. And if I can share, it is premature to share. The team internally, we are looking at how we can strengthen them a bit more by creating some kind of a part-time internship within. Most important, all this is a theory. There have been instances where even now, some of our coaches are working with their clients that is business generated by us at Regal. Somebody comes to us, we pass it on to them. So there are real life examples, both corporate and one-to-one coaching.
The next question here is how many years it would take to complete the journey from ACC to MCC? Can one keep a gap of 2 years between ACC and PCC?
So, it depends purely on how fast you clock 100 hours for ACC, 500 hours for PCC, and 5,000 hours for MCC. No, 2,500 hours for MCC. Yeah. Typically, our observation, some of the people who have done the best journey, got cleared in the first attempt, it takes anywhere between 6 to 9 months to, that's the fastest you can run. With quality, without any compromise on quality, you can do 6 to 12 months ACC, 2 years in it for PCC. Because 500 hours over 2 years, you'll become a very good coach. I give the example of 10,000 hours that Malcolm Gladwell speaks of. You can't sprint to ICF Credential. If you sprint your credential, you will fall after you get the credential when you sit in front of the coach. When you sit in front of the client, you will not succeed as a coach. And I'm saying this on a webinar, which is recorded. You can't sprint to coaching credential. Yeah. Then MCC, it's not even a credential. It's credential plus plus. It's like getting a PhD. It's moving towards a self-actualization that Maslow speaks of. You need to run. See, I started my MCC training in 2014 September. Some of my batchmates got MCC in 2-3 years, but I applied only in 2019, which is 5 years, and I feel it has helped me immensely as a coach. I'm going by the feedback I get from my clients. So that is a rough number. Again, this is based on my observation. It's just not our 250 coaches. We have a lot of friends from the coaching community with whom we collaborate too. So that's a number that I've seen works very well without diluting the quality. Yeah. People misunderstand this 10,000 hours that Malcolm Gladwell speaks of. 10,000 hours, he never talks about diluting the quality. It's quality and quantity. Yeah.
After ACC course, can one start coaching others?
Yes, 100%. Especially if you're doing ACC with us. Because, we speak about being a coach. A lot of our promotional content, you'll see being a coach. That is because the first half, we train you at an ACC level. But the second half, we train you on PCC markers, which is there on ICF website for all to see. So we evaluate your recordings, we evaluate your practices, we do our mentoring, everything on PCC markers. So you're almost getting out at a low PCC level by the time you complete ACC. There are many coaches from our community for ACC and who are practicing coaches. And we never, Kapila is here. Many of you would have spoken to us. I'm sure none of you would have pushed you for PCC directly. I went to PCC directly, right? That is the advice I got at that time. ACC, you can be a great coach. Trust us on that. Yeah.
How do you choose the cohort? What value in being a part of an energized cohort and community? I want to know with whom I will be bracketed and learning.
Yeah, very good question. So, there are two things we try to replicate here based on the B School. One is the alumni body that I already spoke of. The second one is the heterogeneity of the batch. And we are very proud of this. We have had, different types of people coming into the batch. There have been instances where we have rejected some people very politely that, we will not work for you. I'll give a quick example. There was somebody who spoke to me. It's a personal example. I said, I have 30 years of experience. I've been coaching for the last 20 plus years. I'm just joining you for sake of certificate. So I very politely told him that, then this will not work for you. Yeah, but at the same time, we have had 3 PG students over the last 7 years who have gone through a program. All of them are ACCs. Yeah, they've done well. So we have had PG students to people who are on the verge of retirement, HR, agile, business leaders, trainers, chartered accountants. I mean, all sorts of people. Yeah, we had in a previous batch a grandmother who is actually was able to travel to Canada. She couldn't travel. She has been a teacher. Then I mean, we had a lot of doubt whether she would fit in, but she was a wonderful participant, great learner coach, and very popular among the community. Yeah, so we are very choosy about the participants, and heterogeneity is one of our strengths also.
Do you match mentor with learners?
So each batch has 2 dedicated mentors. Typically, I am the common factor. Like the January batch that we're starting, Rekha MCC is the other. So she kind of does the lot of back-end work, and it's between 2 of us. Yeah. Some other batches are run by others, so you'll along with me. So you have an access to that particular mentor apart from me. At the same time, all these mentors come and deliver one module in the program. So you are introduced to them. You have an access to all of them. Yeah. So there is one guy, Swaminathan from Chennai, who's one of the person who's doing the mentoring and deliver these programs. People have independently connected with him, bounce ideas, get some feedback. Yeah. So that mentoring community is there. So you have a batch-wise mentor, but you have a larger mentor to connect. Yeah.
Subhash, I would like you to mention about the buddy coaches as well that we know.
Yes.
On.
Yeah, this is something very good idea, and thanks for that, Kapila. Something that we started recently. We mapped buddy coaches for people who are in the second half of the journey to ICF. Once they complete the basic first level of training and assignments, we mapped one buddy coach who is a recent ACC, right? So similarly, we'll do that for recent PCCs, so that you have one point contact to handhold you to your ACC or PCC. We are always available. We all are just a phone call away.
Someone asking the efficacy on the online program was the face.
Very good question. See, most of coaching happens online. You have to be comfortable coaching online, because ICF gives you the stamp of authority and approval, which is universally accepted. So I have learners and clients from New Zealand to South America to North America. I have clients. So if I said and they're more easy to manage, they're less difficult about pricing. They don't negotiate, but clients from India negotiate more, right? So you get at a higher pricing coaching clients from there. So you have to learn to coach online. And what a better way than to get trained online, because you're going to half the time is spent on practice. Our programs are designed in such a way, at least half the time online is spent on practice. So absolutely there is no difference. Now, what we miss is those lunch and coffee breaks. So when we used to do these programs in Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, our alumni walk in, we specifically chase them to come in, spend some time with the current learners. Some of them stay on for lunch or coffee, and they share their experiences. And we miss that lunch also. Yeah, we choose venues, 5-star hotels where you get great food, right? And 1 hour lunch break it's a lot of very solid networking. You get best friends from there. That is the only thing that we miss. Now, how we are making up for that? Even within these constraints, we are trying to create, restart our monthly meetup where we'll meet up for breakfast. For Bangalore, we are doing it on 23rd. Again, we are going to meet at a premium place where we'll have a good food is the primary objective, and networking, right? No agenda, just come meet and connect. Yeah. So we are overcoming that constraint by this meetup, but otherwise there is no difference. Yes.
Okay. The pricing for the ICF certification seems to be on a premium end. Any reason?
We are Regal. It's not by chance that if any of you, I would strongly recommend this book, The Shoe Dog by Nike's founder. Every entrepreneur, every aspiring entrepreneur should read that, including professional coaches. They talk about how they got the term Nike as a brand name. Regal has a similar story, right? Regal stands for royal, yeah, something royal. So we play at the premium end of the market. So, there is somebody who just completed his ACES journey and is applied to ICF. The application is being processed. It takes 12 to 14 weeks for ICF to come back. He already has 4 paid clients, all in the range of 50,000 for 6 months. So we are already operating above that level. He is not even a certified coach. So if you have to prepare for that kind of a thing, you can't opt for a cheap program. Here you are mentored by 2 MCCs and another 4 PCCs. All 6 of us are professional coaches first. All 6 of us do this for our passion. And all this, everything that I'm saying is verifiable, right? And I'm not exaggerating because it's being recorded. Every one of us is a practicing successful coach. We get a fraction of, 140,000 is what we charge for ACC. You divide that by 70 hours, mota moti, what we spend with you. It's around 2,000 rupees per hour that you pay. That is peanuts. It's 1/20th of what I get from a coaching session. Similarly for MCC, right? So though it appears premium compared to the market, the value that you get is much more. Number one. Number two, again, I'm saying this on a recorded. To all the coaches who have applied to ICF, none of the recordings have come back so far. And I say this with a lot of humility and gratitude to the universe, saying that it's just God's grace. Number three, we also handhold you for your business. When I say that 2 learners connected with me yesterday, 2 today, discussing diverse topics about coaching, including business and practice, we are committed to your success as a coach. Most important, if you just look up on LinkedIn, do a quality search, how many ACCs, PCs are coming out of other institutes versus our institute. We always do more, and we train less people actually. Some of the other institutes train more people because we don't chase numbers. Yeah. So we are premium. That is because of the value of service that you get. And the community, the breakfast and everything that we're doing, there is a cost to it, right? There's a cost of energy, time. There is nothing comparable like that here. Yeah. And we're doing a lot, like Buddy Coach is a recent initiative for learner coaches. We are doing a lot more in 2022 for the professional side of coaching who want to make this a full-time career. Though many of our recent learner coaches are internal coaches or people who look at this as a professional work later, but the value for money that you get is worth in gold. And some of you would have spoken to Kapila would have offered you want to connect with any of our learner coaches, we can connect you. You check this out. Do your research, please. Don't compare apple with oranges. Compare apple with apple.
This question here is, I want to know about hours needed to be spent per day for studying on coaching. Will it be difficult to continue with present job?
See, almost every learner coach who's on a program, whom we select, with a lot of focus, they are very busy. These are all middle to senior level leaders or business owners or self-employed professionals. That is one. Number two, ICF curriculum, as I said before, is adult learning oriented. This is for serious people who are very busy. Yeah. On this, if I try to answer a question, I have a thumb rule. Something like, if you spend something like 5 hours a week minimum, I think that will ensure good quality. You get the benefit of the momentum. If you can spend a little more, still better. If you can't spend 5 hours a week, either it's not a priority or you're not ready. Yeah. And we have seen some of the people who run this well are those people who kind of get the benefit of the momentum. Like today, somebody whom I spoke to, she has just completed 90th session. 90 hours she has clocked out of 100. So I was saying the next 10 sessions you sprint. do back to back. Even if you have to do every day or 2 in a day, do 10 hours. Because there is something that comes from the subconscious mind. You will get good recording for your submission to ICF. Yeah. So 5 hours a week would be good, plus or minus, plus on the plus side than the minus side. Yeah. If I have to give a number. Yeah. But it depends. It depends on the individual also.
I'm a consultant. How difficult will it be to learn coaching? I have seen that corporates value coach certification from ICF, especially Agile. How easy it will be for me to change from consulting to coaching?
It won't be easy. I can say that from my personal experience and all the 250 coaches we have trained and a lot of other friends in the community. It's not easy. Absolutely. But that's why the ICF curriculum is designed in a way where 80% focus ICF mandates is on the coaching competency or framework, and 50% of the time we spend on practice and mentoring. Just commit to the process, you will overcome that, absolutely. And I'm not just talking about consultant versus coaching. A lot of other things will come in, right? Performance pressure, your orientation to help, your orientation. We don't allow to say great, good, wow. These are not allowed in coaching conversation because that is not pure partnering. We are trained to use this, right? So all this kind of slowly with practice. That's why 100 hours, no? But by the time you finish 100 hours, you'll do well. Now, some of our coaches are also doing consulting, and many of them have discussed with me before or after or during this program, and I encourage them, saying that you need diverse experience, right? You want to gain physical fitness. You don't want to do one activity, you get bored. So there are coaches who are also doing consulting. But as long as you keep the purity of coaching while coaching, consulting while consulting, you'll be successful in both. It becomes complementary. For me, I have chosen coaching and coach training. A lot of coach training is mentoring. I come as a subject matter expert, but that helps me immensely in my coaching practice, and vice versa. So you can, especially for an agile, you manage teams. You will ask a lot more questions than giving solutions. And, especially for an agile, I feel that agile fraternity is ready for that shift in consciousness, shift in that methodology. I think that old agile coach consulting will not work. We never recognized agile as coaching. It was always consulting. But you will be surprised to see the value of coaching in your day-to-day practice within the first month itself. People have come back and said this to us. Some of you might know agile coaches from our fraternity. You can go and check with them. That's the power of the process. So if you make an intent, commit to the process will take care of it. That is my summary of it.
There is a leader who's looking for his post-retirement plans and wants to help others through coaching. Is ICF certification for me? It's a question that's come.
For me, this is the best retirement thing to do. I always say this in our training sessions. We know if you just look around, most of the elders in our families or even at work, seniors tend to talk more. Coaching forces you to listen better. That is the life skill worth gold. And people have come back and said that I've started listening more, and that people have started acknowledging at home. And at home, they're the last to acknowledge that you're listening, right? If you're listening at home, then you have cracked the code. So one, it is at a very personal level, it's a great skill to have, coaching skill. You start listening, you start asking questions. It's a great space to be. You'll be loved more, I can guarantee you. Second, instead of giving as a mentor or a consultant or an expert, you start asking more questions. I think that is most empowering guiding you can do as an experienced professional. So today, 21 years in loan lending, I've seen good and bad of it. If people still come to me for some learning, I'm more effective, more empowering to that person as a coach, because I'll ask more questions. So it's a great post-retirement plan. But you can't start this after you retire. This has to be a pre-retirement plan, so that by the time you're retired, you are busy as a coach. Another thing is, most important, we had a learner who was retired from corporate. He just retired and he connected with us and he started the journey. He gave a very, very extreme reason why he also wanted to become a coach. Apart from mentoring, guiding, and teaching, he said, I want to continue learning because that will keep my brain healthy. You can't underestimate this power of this, because if you become a coach, you're also committing to a lifelong learning as a professional coach. You need to commit to that process. It's not stressful at all, I can guarantee you that. But you're still committed to lifelong learning. He said, I want to keep Uncle Alzheimer away, quote unquote. Yeah, I mean, I can even say who said that when you come on board, and I can connect to him.
Is there something CPC or SCPC level 1 and level 2 connected with ICF?
No.
Some suggest
Yeah,
as
that's all
ICF.
agile space. ICF has got just ACC, PCC, MCC. Very straightforward. And to reach that, you have for ACC, PCC, you have 3 routes. MCC, you have only 1 route. Right? There is no portfolio ACTP, ACSTH.
Is coaching spiritual? Should spiritual people become better coaches?
100%. For me, my friends here know, colleagues know, coach, you make a better coach if you are tap into that space. You don't need to be spiritual. I have a MTech from IIT who told me actually, "Aaj thoda zyada spiritual ho gaya," in one of those training sessions in Chennai when I took the feedback end of the day. But you don't need to be spiritual. But some of the spiritual elements are very useful here if you are spiritually inclined. I think there won't be a hubris, right? The ego that comes out of being spiritual if you're a good coach. So it's very powerful for a spiritual person. Yes.
I'm a HR professional and clueless about the business of coaching. Does Regal help in getting clients? And does coaching comes natural to a HR?
For me, human, yes, coaching comes natural. I feel just like Agile community has picked up coaching very well now. I think HR will also start doing it now, partly because of the pandemic, right? I think the human side of business is come to the fore with great resignation and other symptoms. So HR, I would go one step further. You can't be a great HR leader unless you're a good coach or you are not equipped with coaching skills. Can you become a professional coach as an HR? Yes. See, the advantage of coaching is, I strongly feel, having spent 21 years in sales and business roles, you can't sell coaching. Similarly, you can't sell coach training. You can only attract clients. So, with all my credentials, there are still people who don't sign me up, and I refer them to our community members. Right? I mean, when I say we have given business, they reached out to us to sign me up, right? Some of them because the cost was high. So we do cover the business side of coaching as part of the curriculum. So to give a very structured answer, HR, natural coaches. HR trainers will be great coaches. All people from HR space, because there is that human thing in you already. You understand the pain. Number 3, the business side is integral to a curriculum right from the day 1. And we do support in helping you succeed as a professional coach. If you are lucky, we don't guarantee this. If you're lucky, you also get clients from us. And as we speak, there are clients who are being coached by our coaches. So yes, but we don't guarantee placement. Yeah.
Okay, there's one more. How does Regal help in 100 hours of coaching?
This is again one of the strengths of our program. Like, the first 20-25 hours, we encourage the coaches to coach within the batch, right? You coach, that peer coaching is approved by ICF as coaching log. Once you reach certain level of proficiency, we connect you with the larger alumni. Typically in month 2 of the training, we connect you with the larger alumni. Till the first month, we keep you in your cocoon. Yeah. Second month, you start practicing with the recent. There are a lot of people who are still clocking 100 hours for ACC, 500 hours for PCC. some of them 2,500 hours for MCC. So you start practicing with them. So all those peer coaching is accepted by ICF. That is level 2. Level 3 is we mandate you that you clock some paid hours towards the end of your journey. You start coaching your family, your friends, some real life clients where you pay token amount. We don't insist how much you should collect, but get into the habit of professional conversation. If there is a conflict of interest with your current role as a corporate executive, let them pay. People pay. When I've got SMS saying that my client, the client send a message and that gets forwarded to me saying that I fed 5 stray dogs today. Somebody contributed to an NGO, right? So there are different ways you can make that payment as a remuneration, right? Commerce students will know. So you don't need to necessarily collect money, but there has to be a remuneration. The idea is in the 3rd stage, you actually explain coaching, your style of coaching, you sign a coaching agreement, the template we give you, and then you start a professional engagement. By the time you get your ACC, you're ready to hit the market. And again, this is something we are fine-tuning, we are continuously learning and growing. There are a few more approaches that we are trying out specifically for coaching practice. But yes, we are committed to your success as a professional coach. And we also want, just as we charge premium, we are perhaps the most expensive coach training in this part of the world. We also expect you to be at the top of the pyramid, not at the bottom of the pyramid. So right from the word, we don't allow you to see why I let go. If somebody offers me 1 lakh, I don't take it not because I don't want money, because I don't want to compete with people who are in ACC or PCC or with our own fraternity, right? I just pass it on. When I say there are many others who do that. Yeah. And pricing is all we discussed, the 4 P's of marketing. Yes.
Vash, one important thing which even we wanted to discuss here, somebody has asked about it as well. So others are providing NLP along with coaching. Are they saying beneficial to get both certifications, right? And I see a lot of executive coaching, life coach, and relationship coach. After ICF, will I need any other certificate to become life coach?
Yeah, I'll answer second question first. You just need ACC or PCC. You need nothing, not even a psychometric tool assessment, right? No other things required. On the pure strength of your ACC or PCC, you can be an independent, successful coach, making transformational impact and making money as a professional coach. You need nothing, and you can hold me responsible for this till you become a successful coach. And I'm committed to that personally, right? Number 2, please don't go for combo offers. This is one marketing gimmick which is very unfortunate in this part of the world, that will give you that plus ICF. There is this story in South. You want water, drinking water. Would you dig one well or multiple wells? Please dig one well, which is ICF. Don't go for anything else during ICF. If you're still not getting clients, then there is something about your coaching or about the marketing of coaching. Please don't go for combo offers, right? Stick to one thing. And if you, like, for example, since Kapila mentioned NLP, you want to mix NLP with coaching, go for NLP. Don't ride 2 horses. You will not reach a destination. And you can hold me on this, because we have Kapila knows one of our recent ACC. Somebody said, I'm not making enough money. So I kind of challenged her, saying that you're not doing enough work on your marketing, because I see what marketing you're doing. She agreed. So we are going to have follow-up conversation from starting next week, saying that what you need to do. There is a golden triangle that I speak of. This is close to my heart. The first one is becoming a coach. You trust us and travel with this journey, you will become a good coach. The second side is the business side of coaching. And our collective business experience of managing business will help you there if you also do the hard work. Then the third one is you continue to focus on the being, right? Because humility doesn't come easily. So there is some deep work you need to do. So if you ask me what I am doing personally, I have learned more yoga, right, after I became a coach. I've deepened my yoga practice as a coach. I've started some of the other spiritual practices just to improve my presence, right? And these are the cheapest thing, right? Spiritual programs are the cheapest to acquire. Yeah. So please don't go for combo offers. Please don't go for anything other than ACC. Just micro focus on ICF ACC. You'll be a great coach. I can guarantee.
We still have a couple of questions left here.
So, what I can see, the number of participants has almost stayed static, and very grateful for staying on. That shows some commitment, especially when cricket lovers here, when India started batting the second innings. Yeah. So, we are ready, we are okay to finish the rest of the questions next 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, so quickly, right? If ICF CCU certified coach is equal to ICF ACC, which is better?
So, very good question. CCEU is different from ACSTH and ACTP. I would always recommend ACSTH first, because that is the most robust route to ACC. CCU, it is a shortcut to your credential. CCU, you still have to submit your recording. You will not get your recording cleared at ICF on the strength of CCU. Whereas an ACSTH will give you that extra muscle of practice, rigor that will help you. So avoid CCU if you're serious about becoming a professional coach. CCU is actually meant for coaches who want to continue learning. It was not meant for aspiring coaches. Like when I finish my PCC and MCC, I want to renew after 3 years. That's where I use CCU. So don't use that to become their first credential.
In what way we can do evidence-based coaching with family or in relatives?
The coaching methodology itself is evidence-based. So when I say A to B at the beginning of the conversation, the family, any client, right? Family, friends, work, home, anywhere, they have to first define where they want to go. That is point B. They know where they are. Whether it is losing weight or getting the promotion, all previous examples. If they clearly articulate a smart goal for point B, then point A to B is achievable. That is evidence-based. I'll give you, since many of you are still staying on, my favorite example, real-life coaching conversation. I had a scientist for 20 years, a PhD in chemistry, reaching out to me for coaching, 2018, January. He said, I want to become a CEO of a major company in the US in 3 years, quote unquote. CEO of a US-based company in 3 years, right? He was a scientist for 20 years. In 11th month, he became a CEO, took a flight to the US. The power of that goal was the smartness. It was a very smart goal to have. It is the most audacious goal that I have seen. My first question in that first call was, why not a Nobel Prize? He said, 20 years I have been a scientist. Next 20 years, I want to do something more challenging. And I want to become a CEO. So as long as the B, the destination is clear, it's very easy to not only to show evidence, also define ROI, return on investment of coaching, for the time, effort, energy, and money that the client or the client organization is spending. Great question. Yeah.
I think with that, we will wind up here for today's session. And please feel free to, I'm just typing the mail ID here. Any more questions left out, do drop a mail over here.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for staying on till end of the session.
Yeah.
Wish you a great year ahead. God bless.